هست، خیلی مخلصم. آقا ما بریم یه نیم ساعت 1 ساعت بریم تو کار داستان، ببینیم چه چیزی هست. بله خب آره یه نیم ساعت 1 ساعت بریم تو کارش، ببین چی هست. خب
Christ wounds! Watch out with that horse.
خب این الان بهتر شد؟ نه خیلی تاریک شد. این الان بهتره. خب آقا کاری که باید بکنیم به خدمت شما رسید که باید صافتقیم بیاییم اینجا. آها باید بریم لباس بگیریم که وارد مراسم زیگسموند بشیم. دقیقاً. آها بعد اینجا باید بریم یه مدرک جور کنیم که ما چیزیم، ما به اصطلاح چی میگن، کارمند نمیشه گفت ولی مستخدم پادشاهی ما از این بازی ها و این داستان ها. بریم اول اینجا. خب من الان لباس از کجا ما بگیریم؟ Don't think I don't know who you are. چرا؟ چیکار کنیم ما؟ باش خانم
Show me your wares.
ببین یه دقیقه سب کن. دی میگه که خب اوکی. خیلی هم عالی، خیلی هم دوست داشتنی. اوکی میگه که باید برم پیش خیاط. فرانتا کول داون یا خدا. ولی دقیقه سب کنید این همینجا رو به من داده این. آره ها فرانتا کول داون. آش خانم یه دقیقه
Show me your wares.
فرانتا کول داون. این نداره که. نه این نداره. خب خیلی هم شیک، توضیحاتش هم رفته دقیقاً.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything? Muslin, Barchit, the strongest Barchit from Kashov.
ببین ما اینجا خیاط دیگه نداریم. نه فقط همون دارن. خب خب نه میریم پیش خیاط. آره ساعت چنده؟ ساعت 6 بعد ظهره. حالا مهم نیست. خیاط خیاط اینجا خیاطه، اینجام خیاطه، درسته؟ اینجام خیاطه. این خیاطه همین زنه بود. خب آره این من کاری ندارم داداش، من با اینا کاری ندارم. نوکرتم. خب این خانمه مثل این که تعطیل شد رفت سر. آره ساعت 6 اینا نیستن. خیلی جالبه. بازار دقیقاً صافتقیم جلوی هتل. خب
Are you blind?
خب ساعت چنده گفتی؟ ساعت 6. خب ساعت 6 که ما تا ساعت 12 صبر میکنیم. آره بعدم میخوابیم یه چورت. دقیقاً. او چرا اینقدر طولانی شد؟ خب
I better not forget about that council assembly.
نه بابا صبر کن داداش، من الان هیچی نگرفتم. چرا اینجوری میکنی؟ نه صبر کن آقا. الو میخوابیم تا ساعت 9 صبح 10 صبح. آره اون ساعت 6 بود زدن بیرون.
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me. And I mustn't forget about the city council.
روزا رو بی خیال شده. تو روزا برای چی؟ لباس ما باید بگیریم. با روزا چی کار داریم؟ وضعیت شیکم در چه وضعیه؟ وضعیت بسیار خرابی است. خب بمبی آره حاجی تو فکر کن موقع چتر نبوده. خب آقای خیاط اینجاست. خیاط خب ما یه خیاط اینجا داریم. خب خدا رو 100,000 مرتبه شکر خیاطی اینجا باز نیست. یه خیاط هم اینجا داریم. بازم خیلی دوست داشتنی به خاطر اینکه ساعت چند ما میکنه اینا. ساعت چنده؟ 12 ظهر. چرا تم استاد
What do you need, my friend?
Show me your wares.
خب اسم یارو چی بود؟ لباسه اسم خاصی داشت. اسم لباس چی بود؟ یه توی فرانتا کولداون. اینجا فرانتا کولداون داریم ما اینجا.
Maybe next time then.
Use the apples, yellow and red. Come and buy some apples. Greetings. What do you need? I'll have a look at the wares. Take care then, and thanks for nothing.
حاجی من فکر کنم همین زنه است. ببین این زنه است. خب دیگه کیه؟ این یارو سیب زمینی فروشه. سیب زمینی میفروشه. این نونباس. این سیر پیاز. خب اینجام که آها
Thank you kindly, and come again, friend. Needles, threads, pins. Christ, you again.
اینها اینه.
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up the goods. You just missed him.
ده.
What do you have for sale?
گفت دیر اومدی. گفت دیر اومدی بردن لباسو.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want it?
باسم چی گفت؟ الان اینجا چی گفت؟ گفت آها یه جای دیگه من مأموریت داد. ابوالفضل خیلی خوب. اوکی. گفت دیر اومدی. باشم شما استاد.
What do you need?
آها.
Show me your wares.
اوه. خب کتابای بسیار بسیار خفنی اینا رو بخونیم. قیمت چند؟
Sure, why not?
اوه.
That and a little tip.
البته
Thank you kindly.
بعدا میتونم بفروشم. فهمیدی؟ اینجا کتاب فروشیه. کتاب فروشی اکی تا حالا تابلو کتاب فروشی. این الان ناموس پر نویسندگی و این بازی هاست. اوکی این چیه داداش؟ اینجا باید بیام. اینه یارو مستخدم پادشاه اینه.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
لباسا رو بده بیاد.
I heard you're supposed to serve at the city council assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine while I run around.
خب بهش پول بدیم بذار لباسش ما بده. حساب کن. گفت من میرم اونجا این کارو میکنم چون پول بهم میدن و اینها. خب چقدر میخوای به پول
Let me put it another way. How much do you want for your place?
Finally, some sensible talk. But it won't come cheap. When I count it all up, new clothes, wages, a backhander to get in there at all, not to mention the coin I'd make in other places if I could say I served the king of Hungary.
چقدر مایه میخوای؟ 1000 تا. 1000 تا سرمایه گذاری میخوای بکنی؟
What are you blabbering about?
Well, if I do a good job at the council, you'll make a name for yourself and you'll be swamped with offers. But if you make me pay, I won't have any reason to make much effort, will I?
Forget it. Pay up or you won't get a foot inside the council door.
اوکی بیا.
All right, here you are, you daylight robber.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
آها میگه انواع اقسام شرابا رو میشناسی چون اونجوری میخوایم بریم کار کنیم به عنوان خدمتگزار دیگه. نه.
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not exactly an expert.
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, you've no one to blame but yourself. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a
لباساشو داد.
Hopefully it'll sit
اوکی.
better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
خیلی خب لباسا رو داد. اوکی.
Farewell, you yokel.
خیلی خب لباسا رو به ما خیلی خب به ما لباسا رو داد. به این چیزم به ما داد، مدرک خدمتکاری هم داد. خیلی هم عالی، خوب بود پول داشتم داداش، وگرنه باید میرفتم الان دنبال پول میگشتم. خب خیلی هم دوست داشتنی. لباسا کجا رفت؟ فقط ببین یه دونه اینو به ما داد. آره خب بعد اینو داد، یه دونه هم کلا داد، اینو داد. من الان یه خدمتگزارم، یه خدمتکارم یعنی. خب این دستکیشا رو باید ورداریم. شمشیرم باید غلاف کنیم فکر کنم. آره جان تو شمشیر دیگه. آره اینم ورداریم. اینجا دیگه چی؟ حالا عینک میتونی باشه دیگه. خب بعد آقایی که شما باشید این بذار باشه. آره دیگه چی؟ والا اولا که شما تشریف گلت بیان اینجا، ولی این هم الان نمیخوایم دیگه. خب اوکی. خب حتی یه کاری میتونیم بکنیم. اینو داشته باشیم برای خب اینا چرا چیز حرف میزنن اینا؟ عجیب زبان بازی انگلیسیه. ولی خب بریم اینجا ببینیم اینجا چی کار میکنیم. باید بیام پایین. آها باید بیام اینجا خودمو به عنوان کارگر توی چیز ثبت نام کنم داداش. منتها قبل از اینکه من این کارو بکنم یه کار دیگه میکنم. آره و اینکه یه جا بشینیم داداش. آره جان تو یه جا بشینیم. آره من کتاب خریدم. آره اینا رو بذاریم تو کارش. اینا چیزی هست که نمیشه. این چی؟ اینا رو چرا سب کن. آها این نمیشه یاد. آها خیلی خوب. میگه چند ساعت میخوای بخونی؟ برو بریم دیگه 3-4 ساعت بریم. 100% بخونی میشینو. آره
lord sees you.
خب با تمام کتاب خوندیم. به خدمت شما عرض شود که اینجا ما این یارو پسر اون چیزم داد 1000 تا از من پول گرفت در سرویس. و چه خبر؟ یارو پسرش گفت سرمایه گذاری میخوای بکنی داداش. حالا خب ما این کتاب خوندیم درسته؟ خب من یه جا اینجا گفت برو درسته؟ آره کجا گفت؟ تو همین مسیر. استاد برای کار اومدم.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
مریض شده.
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokai or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
اینم بپرسم.
What if I make a mess of something though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
عجب. خب ما الان شدیم چی؟ خدمتکار این داداشمون. دادم. عجب بابا، خیلی عجب. آقا ببین شراب قرمز و شراب سفیده. خب میگه که این دوتا یارو چیزی میبینی، باید اگه مردم اونجا مهمونا شراب خواستن دستشون میبرن بالا. آره بعد بری ببینی چی میخوان، شراب بهشون بدی و فلان و بیسار این حرفا. آره توکاجر میشه شراب سفید، کلوستا میشه شراب قرمز. خب فکر کنم فهمیدم چی شد. خب الان تشریح گلم برم اینجا. فقط من اینجا یه اتفاق اصلا شمشیرمون غلاف شد اصلا اتوماتیک. اوکی خب اینجا دیگه این یارو بفرمایید استاد. استاد
I apologize, sir.
Can you believe
Which
it?
wine?
White
Where
did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
Are you deaf or something?
What is it, Eldris?
White.
You smell a deal? What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubringer everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Ziegesmund is providing us with protection.
You can shove that damn picture.
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
من براش درست آوردم.
But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Wait there.
Nicht
Pour me
wahr?
some monastery
We are
wine.
more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against
Monastery wine. Here.
He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed?
This is unbelievable.
To wreak havoc all around.
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
Wait up. Pour me red wine.
Cute.
Monastery wine here.
Sir?
Well, thank the Lord.
I'd like to report to the Honourable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public bath.
Pour me some monastery wine.
Or brothels.
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be.
I apologize, sir.
The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Your Honor.
Good, sir.
But a woman named Betty has showed up and hovering.
Well, thank the Lord.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine fingers.
زیگسموند.
So you were complaining there weren't enough about it. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by
More
trustworthy
wine,
people,
Master Bailiff.
like my
have
friend,
enough wine.
bathhouse
Come
proprietor
closer.
Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave,
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing. Not at all.
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree.
یارو من صدا که میخواست بفرسته سر نخود سیاه، فهمیدی؟ در صورتی که من باید اینجا باشم، اینجا باشم آمار اینا رو بگیرم.
At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage.
I apologize, sir.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about
Monastery
Red. I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch.
Well, thank the Lord.
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon. I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Routard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Routard?
Are they only just pressing the grapes for the Tokai?
As I've heard.
I apologize,
then we have a good reason to punish him.
Which wine?
What happened there?
Tokai!
Leave nothing out.
I don't like Routard, true, but in this case it really was
Thank you, waiter.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Routard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first.
I apologize, sir.
Knows what he
Which
wants
wine?
to tell us.
Tokai
Nothing
White.
happened.
Are
There's
you
no
deaf?
point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend.
Well,
nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
وا این یارو کسی بود که نباید بهش میدادم ها.
Truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Routard and I had a little.
آها به این نباید بدم یه هم چیزه. اوکی.
Quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sight.
Look out! So Routard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight.
Are they only just pressing the grapes for that Tokai? Tokai! That's the white!
We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's
بابا که
there are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
Waiter! My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the
Everything in
Emperor
order?
Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
But I think you might be able to help.
And you, a councillor, let people throw
چیه
down
مثلا
on our
میکنه؟
work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
هی میخوام منو بفرستن بیرون. آره منتها نباید بری دیگه. چرا؟ چون هدف اینه که بفهمی دارم من چی میگم.
Pour me some
Just the village with the monastery, and they are going to Mokka mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Which way?
Because
Tokai.
those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or report sick. And if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings.
بابا که اسکلو. بابا.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides,
زیگسموند اینه.
there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Which way?
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
I apologize,
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Tokai, white. Are you deaf?
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Good, sir.
Thank you, waiter.
خیلی خوب. زیگسموند هنوز زنگ مده یاتسی.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's going to tackle Ruthard.
زیگسموند اومد. اوه اوه اوه. زیگسموند ما ببینیم. داشت زبان کجایی؟ به داداشم زیگسموند مو قرمزی. اوه
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
میگه خیلی میترسی، لازم نیست بترسی اینقدر. آها.
Like this man of fights.
اوکی، اینم استاد زیگسموند. جالب شد. استاد بزرگ. زیگسموند. اینا رفقامون اومدن ها.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. See more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word.
زیگسموند اون یارو بود پس. عجب. مو قرمزی.
I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here?
آره یارو فرانسوی کی داشت؟
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
خب الان تو نقش این یارو پیرمرده ایم. خب باید چیکار کنم الان من؟ خب فرانسوی هست آره.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arrête. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist. And also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non. And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
بارون یارو.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malachov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never...
این جاسوس ماسوسه.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle.
کوزوو آره دیگه ژیژگام تو کوزوو بود.
So I settled down in the presbytery in Užice.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
ژیژگا.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Okay. بریم یکم. این که هنز اسکله توی
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here?
in Samuel.
Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Khmer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too?
میگه بابای منم همونه. احتمالاً برادر هنری این یارو سموئل.
Good health.
لخایم.
خب اینو رفیقن دیگه، دشمن که نیستن که. اوکی.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whoreson won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
ببین این یارو میخواد به اینا حمله کنه، فهمیدی؟ زیگسموند میخواد به همه اینا حمله کنه. اینا هم ترسیدن، دارن فکر میکنن که چیکار کنن. نه پول دارن نه آدم دارن.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
بگو این برنامه چی داشت.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health. And to yours.
Good health.
Have gone any other way.
به سلامتی میشه دیگه.
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard
میگه تو از کجا فهمیدی من گادوینم؟ میگه من آمارتو دارم.
could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
وای ما رو فرستاد پیش 3 نفر.
I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Oh.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Hey, where's that beer?
Mm-hmm.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans, but they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
And you're in the right place. This occasion
داره مخ این پولدارا رو میزنه که مایتیله بدن ردیف کنن بر علیه چیز زیگسموند موفق بشن، چون گفتش که زمستون میزنن میپکنن. امیرزا خیلی نوکرم، خوش اومدی.
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more. I'd say that's
چاکرم امیرزا، حالت خوبه؟ آره وقت کنم بعضی وقتا میرم. آره آره ببین اومدیم اینجا با مایه‌دارای اینا صحبت کنیم، مخشون رو بزنیم پول بدن، سرباز بدن که جلوی زیگسموند وایسیم، چون زیگسموند قراره حمله کنه دهن همه اینا رو سرویس کنه.
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
ای بابا. آره همه چیش واقعیه. آره ببین تو بازی هر چی که میبینی واقعیه به جز شخصیت هنری. ما تو نقش شخصیت هنری آره و یه جورایی بازی ما رو با اون شخصیت برده تو اون تاریخ. متوجه شدی چی شد؟ آره که به اصطلاح چیکار کنیم ببینیم اونجا رو.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear.
این زن ماهی داره، خیلی هم ماهی داره، فهمیدی؟ اوه اوه اوه.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
Oh.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the house of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
اوه. نه اینا خوب چیز بودن، ارتودکسن دیگه، چکسلواکی ارتودکسن. آره ارتودکسای مسیحی هن دیگه، اصلا از اونجا آمده دیگه ارتودنیا کن. آره منتها خوب گیر نبوده دیگه، بعضیشون میذاشتن بعضیشون نمیذاشتن دیگه. آره اجبار نبوده. این که همین داداش ما تو اینقدر عرق خوردی. ببین این یارو این کیه؟ بعد این کیه؟ این که روتارد خودمونه، رفیق خودمونه. این که داشت همان آدلاس که این که هیچی. مارتین اودرین. یه دقیقه صبر کنم، این زنه گفت کیو گفت؟ با من دوباره حرف میزنی؟ ها حرف نمیزنی؟ خدا وکیلی. ببین آره بذار من برم اینجا، من اصلا باید برم اینجا یه مدرکی رو باید چیز کنم. اوکی من این زنه گفت برو یه خب الان چیریاس الان یارو زنه به من یه چیزی گفت. من اینجا میخوابم. چه آدم شیکه من داداش. من اینجا میشه رفت بالا؟ نمیشه رفت بالا. یارو زنه برگشت من گفت کجا گذاشته این چیزو؟ آجی اینا خیلی تند حرف میز بابا. گفت گذاشته کجا؟ گفت گذاشته. ما چجوری میتونیم بریم پایین؟ در رو اصلا من اشتباه اومدم فکر کنم. اوکی پرده رد نمیشه. اینجا داریم یه راه نداره ما بریم پایین اینجا. نه ارتودکس، ارتودنسی نه. ارتودنس داداش، همشون به ارتودنسی احتیاج دارن. آره واقعا. خب آره یه سیو بکنیم بازیو. ارتودنس. آره واقعا. نمیدونم یکی از بچه ها چی شد کانالو. خب ارتودنسی، ارتودنس. خب ما آمدیم پایین، درسته؟ اینجا باید بریم اینجا مدرک این زنه اینجا گفت. من یه چیزایی اینجا شنیدم. آره نه گفت تو استبله نه. کجا این اینجا؟ آره اینهاش. انجام داد. آره انجام دادیم. ای والله خیلی خوب.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? No one's allowed in here.
I'm just leaving anyway. Servus.
That won't please Lord Ottery.
یارو ما رو یه جورایی یقه کرد. خب برم پیش زنه. بهش گزارش بدم ببینم ردیف شد. خانم استاد ایناش استاد انجام شد.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet. You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words.
ایول این زنه تمام پولو میده. اوکی پول ارتش مرتش و فلان اینا رو.
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
مست نکنیم اینقدر عرق میخوریم. خب یه قلوب بس داشت. آره و کار داری. خب خیلی خوب این انجام شد. خب برعکس سابیلی کن.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Ha, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them.
Well.
خیلی زیاد امیرزا، خیلی زیاد. دقیقا نمیدونم ولی خیلی زیاد.
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
من میگم آره اینجوری بهتره ها. آره خب میگه چی؟
I apologize, Father. For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you? Is that your... Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out.
نفهمیدم این بابا این یاروه. نفهمیدم.
He settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old roach.
Dishonoring your home.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Hey, Baba.
I refuse to fight. I'm here as an envoy, not a jester.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Oberyn, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always.
این باباشه.
Suit yourself then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that.
این هم داداش کوچیکشه مثل این که.
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
ای بابا. ای بابا.
You never saw that coming.
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
Oh, you know how it is. The countryside is tough. It's dog-eat-dog. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well...
امیر رضا 50 گیگابایت براش چیز فرستادن در حد لالیگا آپدیت فرستادن عالی.
I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would...
این داداش کوچیکش اونم باباش بود. بابای این پیرمرده.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me.
خب بازی خاص یه جورایی مثلا زندگی این یارو پیرمرده هم نشون بده دیگه. مثلا تاریخ مثلا این یارو پیرمرده کیه، داستانش چی بوده و فلان و به همه دار.
He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I can't talk much about it.
So we're all allies, but only from here to here. Good to know. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
اصلا امیرزا من همچین چیزی تا حالا ندیده بودم.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
ببین من واقعا هم چیز ندیده بودم. بعد یه سری از باگاش کاملا رفته. البته من شنیدم رو پی سی بازی مشکل داره خب. آره ولی روی PS5 خیلی بمبه، خیلی بمبه. آره اصلا یه رول پلی در حد لالیگاست. این کی بود؟ من چیزی دیدم اینجا استاد. خب بریم با این یارو. اینجا نیا کن داره پوست مرغو میکنه. جان شام داداش چی داریم زره شوله با مرغه یا زن حاجی مرغ تازه. واو. خب بریم بقیه کارمون انجام بدیم. خب اینجا با کی؟ با تو با حرف بزنم؟ بوچک.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes and now you're all jostling to win me.
آره دیگه جابز یه جوری چیز داره دیگه.
I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men at arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can
talk
listen yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
میگه دخترشه میخواد ازدواج کنه. گفت برای دخترم میخوام یه نفر رو پیدا بکنم اینا که خیالم راحت شه و اینا. یه هم چیزایی گفت یارو مرده. خب بدش آره به لیشتنشتاین.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
با کیپان ازدواج کن.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our lives.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
هنوش کوشی هنوش 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 تویی؟ نه شما کمتون سربازید. تو هم که تو استادی؟ بعدن باید با تو صحبت کنیم. مثل این که هنوش 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 استاد.
I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece. So...
دخترش نه.
With your blessing, if you agree. Hans Capon
آره.
is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt.
بله استاد.
Godwin, you conniving old bastard.
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sasa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans.
ای والله هنوش موافقت کرد. اوکی. که کیپون با چه میدونم خواهرزاده این یارو پیرمرده ازدواج کنه. اوکی.
Cheers. Cheers to you and to your parlaying skills.
خب ما الان اینقدر داریم سر هر داستان شراب میخوریم، احتمالاً پاتیل میشیم. بعد حیرون میشیم. خیلی خوب. میگه که اوکی. خب من الان باز این چی؟ الان دیگه با چه حرفی با این دارم؟
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you at least there's some sensible conversation, unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
نه اصلا چرا به من اینو یو گفت؟ خب برم به این یارو بگم که هنوش اوکی داد. داداش حله.
So Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed.
بله هنوش موافقه.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
ای ولی این قرار شد پول بده. اوکی.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
نه دیگه من دیگه نمیخورم.
Thank you, but I'd rather not drink. The evening has just begun.
خیلی خوب، بریم با اون یکی صحبت کنیم. آره چون اگه بخوام همش مشروب بخورم که آجی احتمالاً نه اینجا که چی این بالا باید بریم. آره اینا که کارگر خوب اومدم ها، چیزن نگهبانن. طبقه بالا من باید برم. طبقه بالا من باید برم. از کجا میشه رفت طبقه بالا؟ پله ها کو؟ آها نه اینجا. اوکی خوب استاد.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
آره امیر می‌بینی؟
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
اینا هم پول میدن. ای والله من نمی‌دونستم چکسلواکی همچی تاریخی داره. کوزوو چکسلواکی و چکسلواکی خود آره کیپون رفت تو پادشاه داداش. تبریک میگم موفق باشی. آره داداش یارو سرش گیج رفت دهنی سرویس شد. آره دیگه یا میمیریم یا ازدواج میکنیم. تو یک زایه است.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks along with an army.
میرن که ارتش جمع کنن تو 3 هفته. اوکی.
I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
ببین اینا اینا اومدن اینجا با هم یه دقیقه صبر کنم. کیپون اسکل سرگیجه گرفته. واو کیپون رو زنش دادن زورکی. اصلا نمیدونه یارو دختر چه شکلیه. ببین زیگسموند قراره به همه اینا حمله کنه. خب دهن اینا رو سرویس کنه. بعد اینا جمع شدن دوره هم که بگن آقا ما پول نداریم، خب سربازم نداریم. بعد اینا با هم دیگه نمیتونستن کنار بیان. یکی میگفت آقا من این مشکل رو دارم، یکی میگفت من اون مشکل رو دارم. خب تا این پیرمرد چی بود؟ گادوین. ما هنوز این توییم. گادوین رفت و برابک صحبت کرد، مخ همشون زد. بالاخره تصمیم گرفتن یکی پول بده یکی فلان کنه. بعد اون یارو برگشت گفتش که
You promised to restore order immediately.
And then I find out things are even...
اینجوری بهتر شد. خب این زیگسموند میخواد به اونا حمله کنه. بعد اونا فهمیدن این موضوع رو، دور هم جمع شدن، چند تا مثلا چیز کوچیکن دیگه، مثلا شهرهای کوچیک هر کدوم برای خودش یه پادشاه داشته دیگه. خب بعد اینا بالاخره موفق شدن با هم دیگه متحد بشن. یارو پسر یارو یابز برگشت گفتش که من پس میرم 3 هفته دیگه با یه ارتش بمب برمیگردم. ما هم الان به عنوان هنری، به عنوان یک مستخدم اومده توی اتاق این داشون، اتاق که نه، توی مکانی که اینا جلسه گذاشتن، گادوین. ببینیم اینا چی میگن به عنوان جاسوس. الان ادامه میدیم.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed.
آره حالا اینم الان زیگسموندم اینا رو جمع کرده، اینا رو که میشناخته. حالا اینا همه کلوفتای چیزای خودشونن یا محلهای خودشونن که پول بگیره، آدم جمع کنه که بخواد حمله کنه. فهمیدی؟ آقا از ابتدای به امر ما آدما همش داشتیم چیا میکردیم؟ هم دیگه رو میخوردیم. این اونو میخورده، اون اینو میخورده، این اونو همش همینه دیگه، از ابتدای بشریت تا الان.
As an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
میگه من شنیدم که اینجا یه سری بر علیه من شدن، دارن تظاهرات میکنن، میخوان زیر پای من رو خالی کنن. اینا داستان چیه؟ چرا شما هیچ کاری نمیکنید تو این بازی‌ها؟
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
میگه ما اصلا
Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Zarzhets, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But, unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else.
ببین آره اینا رو همه رو جمع کرد اینجا. خب ما تو کوتنبرگیم دیگه. اینا همه آدم حسابیای اون شهر بودن و نمیدونم یکیشون نمیدونم سکه میزنه، یکیشون نمیدونم همه آدم حسابی اونجا. که این برگشت گفت من شنیدم اینجا یه سری بر علیه من شدن، دارن بر علیه من کارا رو میکنن، شما دارید چه غلطی میکنید؟ همتون دارید عرق میخورید و مستید و فلان و اینا، این کثافت کاری‌ها چی و اینا. آره بعد گفت اینجا من شنیدم یه عده‌ای بر علیه من دارن چیز میکنن، قیام میکنن، باید ما سریعا بفهمیم اینا کیان، یقه‌شون کنیم و اینا. خلاصه خاص یه جورایی توی این شهر مثلا یه جورایی بگه که کد تن کیه. بعد گفت من میخوام یه سری مسائل اینجا کنترل کنم، نذارم بر علیه من کسی باشه و اینا. بعدم شما باید مالیاتتون رو اضافه بدید. اینا همه اونایی که نشستن اینجا آدم حسابیای اون شهرن، مثلا مایدارای اون شهرن. بعد برای این خط و نشون کشید دیگه. ما می‌بینیم
You don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes.
ای وای تنها موندیم با یارو. ای وای چرا کنم عرق بیارم واسه یارو؟ من باید چرا کنم؟ ای حاجی ما موندیم این تو داداش محمد او ما همینجا وای میسیم؟ ما باید چیکار کنیم؟ ما باید حرفای اینا رو کم کن گوش کنیم؟ چیکار؟ ای وای حاجی وای حاجی چیکار باید بکنیم ما الان اینجا؟ چی شد؟ برم بیرون؟ چی شد؟ اینجا چیکار کنم؟ اوه 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 شرابا رو میریختن این تو ببینی؟ استاد خیلی مخلصم. استاد بریزم رو سرت؟ با من این استاد چجوری هست؟ چی؟ عرق میخوای؟ آها خیلی خوب اوکی حله. خب مسئله که هست اوه اینا دارن حرفای خصوصی میزنن، ما هم وایسیدیم اینجا همه هم داریم میشنویم. خب
And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago.
You don't. Can't you tell white from red?
Well, no matter. At least the Takai will remind us of our home. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslaus' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place and the country.
حاجی خیلی خوب درست کردن ها خدا وکیلی. اصلا انگار فیلم نگاه کن.
We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line.
هیچی ما باید اینجا وایسیم تا اینا حرفشون تمام شه خدمت کنیم به اینا. اوکی. باشه عزیزی برو امیرزا جان.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost.
Privileges. آقا اونجا رو ما نمیشه. اوکی.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Okay, Ustad.
Jobs is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy.
قربون تو نوشون.
May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
بسیار سپاسگزارم.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto and his men set out for Rabush. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabush will be yours. After all, Otto has already...
دارن برنامه میریزن که چجوری حمله کنن به اونا. عجب. بعد ما اینجا داریم صدای حرفای اینا رو میشنویم. ایوه.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly. If Rabush falls, others will follow.
استاد قاطی میخوری تگری میزنی ها، اما به شما گفتن ها.
Some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
Bale, bale.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
زدیم اومدیم بیرون، درسته؟
I'm the young lord of Perkstyle. I sure did.
Okay. این الان کی هنوز ما این تو نقش پیرمرده این اوه گفتم اینا
How'd you like our wine,
The art of winemaking recipes.
خب حالا اینا مست کردن.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels.
خب ساموئل هم که عرق خورده اینجا. خب دادا چشاش چرا تار شد اینقدر؟
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrow.
خیلی خوب همشون خوشحالن دیگه عرق خوردن مستی.
What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Not a bit. I'm just a cynical old pragmatist.
In that case, in quite simple and pragmatic terms, the wine has run out.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with
دارن همینطوری با هم حالا گپ میزنن دیگه ها.
Father surely has something better
آره.
stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
ای بابا. صبر کن ببینم. آها آره میگه هیچی میگه که اوکی بزن بیرون با مردم چیز با مهمونا جشن بگیر و فلان اینا. حالا ببینیم با کیا اینجا ما باید حرف بزنیم و اینا. اینه که سربازن دوش کسی
Do you get it, Father?
I don't know. We're considering how much Martin bragged about the beast.
Yes?
No great.
First you ridicule me in front of Alder, and now I find out you're sneaking around my house like a thief?
I should have known you'd turn your servants into snitches.
And you're as drunk as a fiddler to boot.
And I intend to get even more drunk. Anyway, I have to go for some more wine.
My wine?
A distinguished guest's wish.
I'll see about that. And you, get out of my sight. You reek of booze.
حاجی من این مگه نیست؟ این یه دقیقه سب کن ما اینجا اینو بریزیم یارو میخوره یا میتونیم ببریم اینو با خودمون آها میره بالا آها اوکی خب
Next time have a bath before you come to see me, you pig.
We do? Who do you mean?
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with some
ای بابا اینا همه عرق خورن اون یکی حامله هستنه
wedding feast and all that?
All hail yachts. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Lititz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
But there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things easier for you.
And how should I interpret this?
خب ما هنوز اینجا باید با این برعکس با مهمونا باید کماکان
Good evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are. Although Martin hardly spoke of you, from what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
Would you kindly introduce your 2 companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Biniak of Norstitz. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How come your husband didn't come?
Because he's been rotting for nearly a year in the king's captivity.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. I pray that God shall return him to you soon.
I've been praying for it since the day I got word of his captivity. Perhaps worldly powers will come to our aid once the promised army turns up. One hopes.
What's your opinion of the outcome of today's assembly?
That it's about time. Although at the onset it looked like everyone here would carry on arguing like fishwives at the market. But in the end it seems the agreement arrived at will bear fruit.
Okay.
It's rather noisy here, Mom. Don't you think?
It is a bit. But that's all part of celebrations, and today we have cause for celebration, don't we?
Wouldn't you prefer a little privacy? I'll gladly escort you.
Restrain your ardor. You're not the first to try and lure my girls somewhere out of my sight. If you want to amuse yourself with them, I insist on being present, or you may be on your way.
But I had no wish to.
And while you're on your way, we're quite thirsty from all this constant chit-chat.
Do I look like a servant to you?
No, but surely you wouldn't leave these young ladies to suffer thirst. Be so kind and bring us another pitcher of wine. I don't know what's in those kegs, and I don't intend to try it out.
Having a good time? He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the sin.
I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. And his own kin at that.
Leave it out. They forced my hand.
No, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it anyways.
خب شما هم که سرباز مربازین، اینام که داداش شما یا تلو داره بابا دهنت سرویس. خب ما با اینا تموم شدیم ها، با بی خیال. خب حالمون به هم خورده چه. خب
Want to roll some dice?
Sure. How much will you wager?
صدا این ها رو چه اینجوریه؟ نه بازی نمیخوام.
Playing for coins a bore. You got anything else to wager?
I might have something. But you'll have to bet at least 20 groschen against it.
And what might that be?
Let's keep it a surprise. You won't be sorry, though.
You can take that and stuff it.
All right. Keep your hair on.
I've had plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, looking too happy at the moment.
I wouldn't worry about the time you might.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen to me.
خب ما با کی اینجا حرف نزدیم؟ اینا که با همشون با ژیژگا سربازا.
You already did, didn't you?
What's the matter?
One of the most esteemed guests ordered more wine. Where might I find it?
All over the place. Are you blind?
I meant the really fine wine. The kind that Martin Oderin will drink.
No way. Sir Martin ordered for it to be served only to him and a few of his favorites.
Have you seen the state he's in? Tomorrow, he won't even remember what was agreed here today. Anyway, he'll never miss one jug of wine if it disappears.
All right. Them pitchers are on a table in the cellar. But you didn't hear it from me.
Now off you go and leave us alone.
Greetings to you, friend.
دنبال یه شرابی باید بگردیم که چیز میخوره. گفتش که کجا زنه، گفتش که داداش اون فقط خود یابز میخوره اینو. گفت بابا اون از صبح پاشه اصلا نمیفهمه چی به چی بوده، کی به کی بوده، بده بیاد. گفت تو زیرزمینه. فهمیدی؟ خب زیرزمین میشه کجا؟ زیرزمین میشه اینجا. خوب اینه دیگه ها.
Everybody likes a drop of white. Oh, I don't know. White?
وایت که خیلی خوب. Okay.
Now there's a piece of horse flesh for you, Rootard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
That's Peter of Pisa.
گفتش که یه سرباز اومده دم در.
But he is coming happily to this celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
حاجی پرام حاجی پرام
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
پرام
I'll beat you to a bloody halt, fucker.
اینا داشتن از یارو
Let him have it! You caught him! Oh, you'll die! Horseman's out! Smack him on the head! Get the fuck!
داداش هم سربازا که آخه میگه more coming fuck هیچی دیگه more coming هیچی دیگه دیر رسیدی استاد خب الان با چه شیر تو شیری شد داداش. صبر کن ببینم بابا، لباسامون ما باید این اتاش خانم عجب بابا چی شد؟ داداش میگه نمیتونی. ده پرام صبر کن اینجا میتونیم اینجا این کارو بکنیم یا نمیتونیم این کارو بکنیم، یا میگه که نمیتونی. صبر کن ببین داش. آره اینجا میتونیم، اینجا میتونیم. خب اینم بذاریم تو کارش. حله. فقط مسئلتون الان من اینجا بیام پایین. خب الان یه دقیقه صبر کن ببینم من خب بعد اینجا اگه بیام صبر کن. آره ای والله.
To me. Get him from behind. Show your stuff. Hey, fuck that. Take that fucker out, damn it. No chance. Good. Done for. Oh, my stomach. I must have food poisoning.
عجیه ما داریم دفاع میکنیم. مسخره بازی چی آجی؟ عجیبه. عجیبه. چقدر شد؟ چند ساعت من دارم؟ 2 ساعتی شد. آره اوکی. بذارم اصلا یه کاری کنم. ایرادی نداری که نه بازی رو همینجا من یه آره ضبط بکنم. آره بعد به خدمت 4 ساعتی برمیگردیم. من ببین الان اولا که این کثافت کاریه چیه؟ اینا بذار من همه رو بردارم برم بیرون. خب اینو ما ورش داریم داداش، اینم ما ورش داریم داداش. حتی باش خال آره بریم تو کار جنگ دیگه دادا. حل اینجا بله لباس نبرد برتن میکنیم عزیزی داداش. اینم یه دونه کلاهخود دارم اینجا. حل داداش. خیلی خوب فقط شمشیره یه مقدار. آره البته اینم خوبه. ای والا این اگه بشه که من دیگه مشکلی ندارم که. نه البته قدرتش خیلی کمه. این قدرتش بسیار بسیار بالاست. اینم خوبه. اینم خیلی قدرتش کمه. همین میریم تو کارش. استاد
Go! Have to go back. Easy, good horse. Whoa! Nice strike.
بیاید بینه مرازه.
You won't get me. I'm just getting warmed up, you shit. Keep it up. Headed. Do it. Bad luck. Right on the noggin. You're in for an arse-kicking, you piece of shit. That's it. Easy.
نفهمیدم این چرا اینجوری میکنه ولی حالا دیگه. چاکر من امیرزا اومدی؟ خب نوکرتم. امیرزا میگه آره امروز یه مقدار سرم خلوت بازی رو دارم میبرم جلو. به خدمت شما عرض شود که آره احتمالنم حاجی نبودی ندیدی اینا مهمونی داشتن هم اصلا یه صحنه دهنم اینجوری واموند. من الان میبندم. آره من بازی رو میبندم. 1 رو 20 دقیقه دیگه میام. ببین چه بازی ساختن اینا حاجی. ما چقدر به اینا فوش دادیم الکی حاجی. واقعا بازیش خوبه. من همینجا میبندم. آره 1 رو دیگه میام نوکرم. اینو بذار ما همینجا اینو سیو کنیم. ای والله. آره ای والله خیلی بابا بازی چنیمیه. این بازی خیلی خفنه. اوکی آقا پس من 1 رو 20 دقیقه دیگه دوباره چی؟ آره مثلا ساعت 7:30. آره 1 رو 20 دقیقه دیگه عزیزی امیرزا جون. آره میبینیم هم دیگه. پس تا بعد مخلصم.